Yeah, for so many copywriters, maybe for you listening, and really anyone in a creative space, there's this fundamental question. It's become kind of impossible to ignore. Is AI this big threat that's going to, I don't know, devalue our unique skills? Or is it maybe this huge opportunity we haven't fully grasped yet? That feeling, like the ground shifting under your feet. It's very real. The fear that, your knack for crafting that perfect headline or turning boring features into something people actually feel, that maybe that's suddenly worth less. It's a genuine worry. Understandable, really.
No, absolutely right. And that apprehension is not just you feeling it. It's widespread, deeply felt for many. So if you've had that knot in your stomach, well, you're definitely not alone. Our mission, let's say, in this deep dive is to gently challenge that first reaction, that mindset. We want to try move past seeing AI just as a rival, this problem you can't solve, and instead explore how it could be a revolutionary new tool, something powerful in your own creative kit.
Exactly. And this is the core idea we really want to unpack today. The future for creative work, especially copywriting, maybe isn't about just being the best writer in the old way. It's about evolving. It's about becoming the best AI collaborator. That's a big shift, right? It kind of demands we rethink our jobs, our craft. So let's dig into what that actually means for you.
Okay, so to really get a handle on the sphere we're talking about, let's look at a story, something relatable. I heard about this copywriter, 𝗚𝘂𝗶𝗱𝗲, based in Madrid, talented writer. And she felt that sort of familiar dread, that sudden cold uncertainty hit her when she lost a long-term client, someone she'd worked with for years. Apparently, the client decided to bring all their copywriting in-house, and the reason they gave her was like a punch to the gut. They specifically mentioned using some AI program. It was just as good and a lot faster than what 𝗚𝘂𝗶𝗱𝗲 was doing. Ouch. Can you just imagine getting that feedback? Your work, your expertise, basically boiled down and dismissed because, well, an algorithm could do it cheaper. That hits right at the core, doesn't it? Your creative identity, your value.
It really does. It's such a potent example of that initial fear, isn't it? And what's fascinating about 𝗚𝘂𝗶𝗱𝗲's reaction, as our sources sort of point out, is her perception. Despite being, by all accounts, a fantastic writer, great track record, she immediately saw AI purely as this existential threat, not as, say, an efficiency tool or just a shift in the market. Nope, just a cheaper, faster competitor that couldn't be beaten by the home. And that is the crucial mindset block we mentioned. It's understandable, that first reaction. You protect your turf, but it's also the very thing that can stop a creative pro from adapting, from thriving, really. She didn't seem to ask how they were using it or if she could use it too, just that it was being used against her. She saw a wall, basically, not a new door opening up.
Right. So what does that kind of reaction mean? For 𝗚𝘂𝗶𝗱𝗲, sure, but maybe more importantly for you listening right now, the advice she got, and really the core message we want to explore here, was about reframing it critically. This isn't about AI coming to replace you, not necessarily. It's about potentially becoming more valuable than ever. How? By using AI to your advantage.
Precisely. And if we circle back to that idea from the start, it's about shifting your focus. Maybe not just trying to be the best writer working alone, but becoming the best AI collaborator. That's where the real opportunity, the strategic edge, actually lies. Our sources really drive this home. They draw a clear line. AI is amazing at certain things: speed, processing tons of data, generating endless options, handling boring, repetitive stuff. But humans, we bring things AI just can't replicate, at least not yet. Understanding subtle emotion, cultural context, thinking strategically ahead, deep empathy, and that unique spark for telling a story that truly connects with other humans. Combine those two. AI's power and human insight. You unlock something much, much more powerful, more productive, more profound even, than either could ever do alone.
That's a really powerful distinction. It makes you rethink the job itself, doesn't it? I mean, think about it. AI is a tool, like a new kind of hammer, as one source brilliantly put it. And like any tool, a hammer, a paintbrush, whatever, its impact depends entirely on who's using it, how they wield it. The hammer itself isn't a threat to a skilled carpenter, right? It's part of their skill, an extension. So maybe we need to encourage ourselves, and you listening, to see AI not as the new carpenter taking over, but as this incredibly advanced, super fast assistant for you, the expert artisan. You're the one with the vision, the craft, the strategy, and now you've got this assistant that can help you execute faster, maybe more efficiently, at a greater scale than before. It sort of shifts your role, doesn't it? From just churning out words to being more like a master architect of content, directing this powerful digital help.
Exactly. And if we zoom out, look at the bigger picture. This mindset shift, it's huge for all creative professionals, really. Way beyond copywriting. It stops being about fearing you'll become obsolete and starts being about embracing evolution, change. I mean, history's full of this, right? The printing press changed things for scribes, photography for painters, digital editing for filmmakers. Every time, technology reshaped the field. And the people who adapted,
they didn't just survive. They often thrived in new ways. Using tech like generative AI lets you enhance your skills, massively boost productivity. And, this is key, it frees up your valuable human brain power, your creativity. For the higher level stuff, the strategic thinking AI just isn't built for. It really pushes us to think, okay, how do my unique human skills, empathy, storytelling, strategy, emotional intelligence, how do these complement AI? Rather than just putting ourselves in a race against it, a race we probably can't win on its terms.
Okay, so let's get specific then. This collaboration. What does it actually look like day to day for a copywriter? It sounds good in theory, sure, but, when you're facing that blank page or a really demanding client brief, how does AI actually help you become more valuable?
Right, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's break down some practical ways. First up, brainstorming and idea generation. We've all been there. Writer's block. Staring at the cursor. AI, especially these large language models, can be an incredible brainstorming buddy. Instead of you spending like an hour sweating over 20 headline ideas for a campaign, you feed the AI the brief, who you're talking to, the key messages, and bam, in seconds it can spit out hundreds of variations. Punchy ones, clever ones, emotional ones, whimsical ones, all sorts. Your job then changes. It's not about generating all the raw ideas anymore. It's about curating the good ones. You, the human expert, sift through them, pick out the gems that fit the brand, hit the strategy, then you polish them till they shine, see? You're not outsourcing your creativity, you're just massively amplifying your ability to come up with options.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. That's a huge time saver right off the bat, getting past that initial hump. But what about actually writing the stuff? Can it go beyond just spitting out ideas?
Oh, absolutely. Think about drafting and just getting words on the page faster for certain kinds of content. Maybe a first draft of a blog post based on an outline you provide, or social media captions, product descriptions. AI can often generate pretty decent structured text to get you started. It can pull in info you give it, check for keywords if you need SEO, stick to basic style rules. So what does that mean for you? You're not starting from zero anymore. That dreaded blanked page, gone. Instead, you start with a solid, maybe slightly rough draft. Your time, your energy, then goes into the high-value work. Refining the tone of voice, injecting that unique brand personality, adding the deeper emotional hooks, checking facts rigorously, crafting those storytelling bits AI just can't quite nail. You become less of a word generator, maybe, and more of a word sculptor, shaping that raw AI output into something truly crafted.
Right, so it handles some of the initial heavy lifting, the laborious part, maybe. That makes sense. I can see how that frees up bandwidth, mental energy for the more critical thinking. What other areas are good for this kind of teamwork?
Another huge one is content repurposing and scaling up. Okay, imagine you've just poured your heart and soul into a big white paper or a detailed case study. Awesome piece of work. Now, normally turning that one piece into, say, 10 different things. Snippets for Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, email subject lines, a short video script outline, ad copy. That's a ton of extra work. AI can do the basic versioning, the grunt work of that adaptation almost instantly. You feed it the main content, tell it the platform, the tone you want, boom. It gives you a whole stack of options to start with. Your job. You're the strategic director again, making sure every piece sounds like the brand, hits the right note for that specific audience, and fits the overall campaign goals. It just massively expands your reach. You can get way more mileage out of your core content without killing yourself trying to rewrite it constantly.
Okay, that is a game changer, especially for content marketing folks. It really shifts the focus from just creating a piece of content to leveraging that content across a whole system. Makes the copywriter feel much more strategic, yeah. But let's talk about the flip side. Where does the human part remain absolutely essential? Where does AI just fall short? And where do our uniquely human skills become even more critical now?
That's such a crucial point. And it's exactly where your unique value proposition really comes into play. Because while AI is this fantastic tool, right, it fundamentally lacks several core human things. Things that are vital for copy that truly connects and persuades. First, real emotional resonance, genuine empathy. AI can analyze data about sentiment, sure. It can even generate text about emotions. But it doesn't feel, it doesn't truly understand human joy or grief or hope or fear the way we do. It can't grasp those subtle cultural nuances, the shared experiences, the unspoken things that make a message actually land deep down. That authentic connection, that comes from human insight, period.
Yeah.
Second thing, strategic vision and truly original breakthrough ideas. AI is brilliant at spotting patterns in data it's seen. It can generate variations on themes, optimize within rules you give it, very useful. But setting the overall creative direction, defining a brand's unique place in the world, coming up with a genuinely new campaign concept that nobody's thought of, envisioning a message so disruptive it changes the whole conversation. That's human stuff. That's intuition, foresight.
sometimes just pure, audacious originality. AI can help execute the vision, sure, but rarely originates the paradigm shift.
Right. So AI can look back at data and tell you what worked before, but it's still the human who has to figure out why that matters and, critically, what to do next that hasn't been done yet, that leap.
Exactly. And tied into that is maintaining an authentic brand voice and personality. Look, AI can mimic a brand voice if you feed it enough examples. It can sound like the brand. But a real brand voice isn't just a set of rules. It's alive.
Yeah.
It evolves. It responds to what's happening. It builds an actual relationship with people over time, nurturing that living personality, making sure it stays authentic, consistent, relevant, sensitive to how people are reacting. That takes human judgment. Deep understanding of the brand's core, its soul, sensitivity to the market vibe. That's beyond algorithms. You, the human copywriter, you're the guardian of that unique identity, the keeper of the brand's voice.
This really hammers home that idea, doesn't it? The role isn't being lessened, it's being elevated. It's shifting towards being more strategic, more directorial, not just, the person who writes the words.
If we circle back to Elena's story for just a second, if she'd grasped these dynamics earlier, how might things have played out differently for her with that client?
That's a really powerful what if, isn't it? If Elena had approached AI as this collaborator, this tool she could wield, that conversation could have been totally different. Imagine, instead of the client saying, oh, we found this AI, it's cheaper and faster, so yeah. Elena could have gone to them proactively and said, hey, I've been experimenting with integrating generative AI into my workflow. Here's how it can help us achieve X, Y, and Z. Something like, I can now generate campaign variations 10 times faster for testing. We can hyper-personalize copy for different customer segments like never before. And crucially, this frees my time up. Frees my time to focus on refining your core brand message, developing higher-level strategy, ensuring everything resonates deeply, giving you even more strategic value overall. Wow, yeah. She could have shown how she offered more value, not less, precisely because she was adapting.
Precisely. She would have shifted the narrative from being seen as maybe just a cost, something replaceable by a machine, to being an indispensable strategic partner, someone who leverages the latest tech to get them superior results. Her value wouldn't just be in the words anymore, but in her ability to orchestrate this whole content engine powered by her human insight and AI efficiency. It moves you from defense to offense, from reacting to leading. It's about working smarter, leveraging tools, not just grinding harder against the inevitable.
It seems so clear then. The path forward isn't about sticking our heads in the sand about AI or trying to beat it at its own game. That's probably futile. It's about learning it, mastering it, weaving it into how we work, enhancing our unique human strengths. This isn't just about, saving jobs. It feels more like expanding what's possible, opening up new ways to be creative and deliver value.
Absolutely. And that really leaves us and leaves you listening with a final thought to chew on this week. If AI really is this new kind of hammer, like our source said, this incredibly powerful, versatile tool, then what amazing, maybe previously unimaginable structures, what groundbreaking campaigns, what new levels of creativity and efficiency can you start to build? What can you design by really learning to wield this hammer expertly? What new heights could you reach in your own work simply by embracing this idea of collaboration?
That's a fantastic question to end on. Definitely